Don't worry, I'm right here. What's up, guys? Super Mazio here. You might have noticed my wonderful new shorts that I just got. Look like you play a game of chess right on my thighs. Don't do that. Only I can do that. Anyways, we're back. It's been a couple days. Sorry for the delay. For those of you who are just waiting with bated breath for this last episode, but here we go. This is it. This is the last song we're going to cover in my mind map series. It's been a lot of fun. I ran out of new hairstyles to do. I could have worn another hat, but my older sister was visiting today, and she's very good with hair things. So she did whatever this is. I don't know what you call it, but it's very cool. Might have to have her come by and do that more often. Because it's pretty fun. Or I could just learn to do it myself. It seems very tricky. But anyways, today we're going to go over Mind. Now this is the why we're doing it last. It's because it's actually the last song that I wrote, or the most recent one that I wrote. But it's the first track on the album, actually. And interestingly, you could also argue that this was kind of the first song that I started on, because this song was entirely based off of an old voice memo on my phone, my iPod Touch from 2014 or so, maybe it's 2015. I don't have it at the ready right now, but it's somewhere on my Instagram, and it's pretty funny. There was a phase when I was younger, about age 11 or 12, where I would try to conceptualize these melodies in my head, and write some lyrics. I had an idea I was going to be in a band when I was in like 5th or 6th grade with some other kids at my middle school. It never panned out, never actually finished anything or did anything. But it was an idea, and for a while I was trying to write songs. And I had this one melody that stuck with me. For years it stuck with me, and we'll talk about it more when it gets to it. But it was like, da-da. I actually did have some words to it as well. It was called like Losing My Mind or something like that. Walking down an endless road with nothing on my feet. Of course, I was singing an octave higher. It was exactly an octave, the same key, which is funny. Looking for a place to stay and something to eat. And then I had, don't know why I left it behind, etc., etc. And then the lick, the da 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 da. That's like the main riff there. And I came up with that, years ago. And I didn't have the discipline, the work ethic, or like the experience necessarily to flesh it out or anything like that. But it's been in my head ever since, and I just thought, you know what? This could be a fun little. This could fit in this album, and I think it would be really funny if it came full circle and we brought that back. So that's what I did. Let's not talk anymore. Well, we're gonna keep talking, but we're gonna go to the Logic session. I'm gonna have to cover up my wonderful. Well, you can still see it. And here we go. Boom. Here's the Logic session. Pretty simple, not too involved, but there's a lot of fun stuff we can get into. Yeah, so let's do that. You might hear some background noise. That is other folks singing in my house. It's a musical world around here, and it's all good. So here we go. This is how we start. So, if you might not know this about me, I hope you do. But I'm actually on Instagram as well, and I'm doing very well on Instagram. I'm very happy with that. Only a couple months ago is when it started. I posted a reel that did really well. Some of you guys watching now might be from Instagram. What's up? Thank you for finding my channel and sticking around. And what was I saying? Yeah, so I've been doing these reels where I do like a loop. So I'll start with one part and then I'll slowly build as like you see on screen. It's like building which part you're singing. The illusion is like a real-time loop, like a looper pedal would do. It's not actually in real time. It's all pre-recorded, but it still makes for a cool video, I think. And so this is kind of inspired by that in a way, where it just starts off with this. Dum, 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 dum. Then now that's looping, and now we add this. And then we have just this ka-chuck. Yeah, and those loop the entire song. That's what I do. With percussion, again, I'm not a percussionist. Kind of keep it simple, keep it sparse. Hence the looping pattern for the entire thing. and we're building on top of that. So the guitar starts off pretty simple, just sort of a slightly muted note, dum dum dum. Then a more full note, of course the root and the fifth. And then we get into the main chord progression. So this is kind of how, this is like the main chorus, of course. I think when I was thinking of this, again, like it was a point in my life when I definitely had some musical inclination, of course, but I didn't really have a great ear. I would feel like I had a good ear, but not specifically. I don't know if I could have come up with a great chord progression. I might have had to have somebody show me what might work on the guitar. Maybe I could play around and find something, but yeah, this is definitely the chord progression I sort of had in mind. The only debatable one is the last one. You could either do the fifth. So walking down an endless road with nothing on my feet. That could be the feet. That could be the fifth chord. But what I chose to do most of the time is the that one, the da da da, which I think is what is that? Is that the major 3? I don't know. It might be. But yeah, it makes for a cool sound. Da, 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 da. Yeah, so there's a couple things you could do there, and I chose to do the most of the time that E major chord. It's, you know, it's not actually E major. It is though. No, it's F major. It's E major chord on the guitar, but it's capo first fret. It's pretty simple chords there. But yeah, that's what you get. It's that basic strumming pattern the entire time. Okay. So that's what I had before, right? I mean, I could have done the whole song this way. Just, and then of course the vocals, right? Breaking trust. Right, that's basically all you have. But I knew it needed a little something else. Let me grab something real quick. This is a fun story. So my boss, or my old boss at the job where I used to work, which I recently dismissed myself from that job for various reasons, but we won't go into that. If you're watching, Alex, love you, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope to see you soon. Recently moved back to his hometown, but he was my boss for a while at the place that I worked, which is Jenny's Ice Cream. I won't tell you which one, but it's one of those Jenny's Ice Creams out there. And I worked there for about 3 years, and he was my boss for most of that. And when he departed, left me a very nice letter, and also this ocarina, which was one of his personal ocarinas, I think. It's very nice. It's got a nice pattern on it. I don't know what you call that. Maybe some sort of big cat, like a well, I don't know. I don't want to embarrass myself. We'll just call it a leopard print ocarina, even though it's definitely not. And it's pretty cool. This is a C ocarina. I'm not very good at playing ocarina. I do play the flute. It's pretty derivative of that. I don't know if you call it derivative, but it's you know, something like that. There's your basic C chord. But this song is in C sharp, or D flat, whatever you want to call it. So you might be asking. Now, here's what the ocarina sounds like. I think what I actually... So... something like that. Now that's a half step lower, you might notice. I used my good friend Varyspeed, which I've demonstrated multiple times on this channel, but let's go ahead and show you. So if we go to custom here, that's just the layout that I have. Varyspeed allows you to shift the entire project in real time by a certain number of semitones or cents, however you want to do it. You can get very specific. It's very convenient for a number of reasons. It can also create some nice, unique sounds. But you can sing something, and then when you switch back, it will, of course, bring it over. So I can essentially bring the whole project down a semitone. So And it actually, the setting that I use actually changes the speed as well. So, if you go up higher, it makes it a lot faster. If you slow down, it makes it a lot slower. Like I could go here and... Ugh, it's just like you're trudging through the pile of molasses right there. Or I can go chipmunk mode. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Breaking trust, kicking up dust as the steel trap begins to rust. Cobwebs form.
It's kind of a nice. It's a nice thing to play around with. I could get really in the weeds with this and just spend hours just dicking around here. But anyways, what I did is what would I have done? Do you shift it? Yes. No, I'm wrong. So this is what it actually sounded like when I played it, which is what you just heard me do. Yeah, so that is in C. Da, 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 da. Oh, it's very loud singing out over there. So yeah, and when you only go up or down one semitone, it doesn't really affect the formant all too much, which is like the thickness of the sound. So it's not very noticeable. Now that you shift it back up, it still sounds authentic, and it doesn't sound too like if I were to go... Obviously, it still sounds kind of cool. That could be a sound you could use for something, but it definitely changes the characteristic of the instrument a lot. It's a lot, it's a more thin sound. So, anyways, I'm sure you could get a C-sharp ocarina. I'm sure you could get one in every key, but that's what I have, and I wanted to use it, so I did.
Breaking trust and kicking up dust as the steel trap begins to rust.
Yeah, I get that. This is kind of, to me, more of like it's not a happy song by any means, but it's not supposed to be like as bitter or like sad or depressing as the other ones. Of course it is. I mean, it's losing my... That's the name of this. I'm losing my mind. But it's more of a swashbuckling like bar song. You hear people just slamming their fists on the table singing this song. Just really I don't know. It's more of a sailor tune, but with some mandolin stuff in there too, which we'll get to. But yeah, I wanted this song to be one of those, And so what you hear in the melody here, I want to talk about this. I love, one thing you got to know, I love a band called They Might Be Giants. It's one of my favorites, a big inspiration for me growing up for sure, and my lyrics clearly. They do. You can't really describe what they do with their lyrics. It's unique, it's wholly them, and I love it. But not everybody could pull that off at all, and a lot of times I think lyrics like that wouldn't really work. They would be too silly, too on the nose, but somehow they pull it off. They really do. But this melody, there's a song called The Mesopotamians. The beginning of it goes, we've been driving around from one end of this town to the other and back, but no one's ever seen us. Go listen to it. It's a great song. But you hear the melody's kind of similar to that. The
breaking trust and kicking up dust.
So yeah, been driving around one end of this town. You can kind of imagine that. Different key, of course. Theirs is a half step up. But that kind of inspired that part, and then it diverges. It's not the same anymore. Because when I thought of this years ago, all I had was the chorus, like the da 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 da. I didn't have like any sort of verse, so this was something I came up with now, pretty recently. So I was sort of semi-inspired by that Mesopotamian song. Great song, go listen to it. But yeah, so that's that. I really like the sound of the major 2 chord in any song, whether it's major or minor, like key signature, wherever it is. Oh, it's right here somewhere. Duh. That's not the major. Am I stupid? Da 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 da. No. Is it? What is that? Guys, I'm showing my just complete lack of formal training here. Da, 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 mm. I don't know what it is. You guys figure it out. Then we have the 4. You know what? Okay, screw it. I'm actually gonna get my guitar because that's gonna drive me crazy now. Hold on. I'm gonna show you all how to do this real quick. Yeah, we'll play it in the key that it's supposed to be in. Capo 1st fret again. No special tuning on this one. So that's your A minor, which is now B flat minor, and then so that's your home key. That's the C sharp. So we have. It is a major 2. I knew I wasn't stupid. So that's our. I guess it's not the 1 to the major 2. That's why I was confusing myself. But I do like that sound too. Where if you have a song that's like. That chord progression is very cool. You can do a lot of cool things with the major 2. It's such an unexpected, like you expect, you know, the, and then, but instead you have, yeah, it's just, it's that brightness, and it's that note there. It's like the sharp 4, you know? So yeah, we have the, and then so we have, sorry. Yeah, that's the killer right there. Boom. Is da 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 da. And then the I'll just show you the chorus real quick. The walking down an endless road with nothing on my feet. So, but you could do that, or you could do both work. And I debated. I think in some cases I do actually do that, but most of the time you got to have that. And you can even throw in the something to eat. Yeah. But yeah, that's that. All right. Let's press on before I embarrass myself further with my lack of specific knowledge of this stuff.
Cobwebs form.
You can hear me just adding little
Cobwebs form.
I don't know. I debated, I recorded this a couple times through and just added various like noises, breaths, sounds, and so I left that in there. Again, it's just that grittiness to it, you know. And then I included that. It's just a little decoration on there. Because you don't want to have 2 verses in a. Oh my God, I'm not even showing you guys. I'm sorry. I'm literally doing everything that Jacob's doing, except for the being super smart part, because he's much better at that than me.
Cobwebs form a violent storm.
Yeah, what I was saying is that you don't want to have 2 verses right in a row that are exactly the same. You want to add something to spice it up a little bit.
An endless road with.
And here we get into it. So here we go.
Down an endless road with nothing on my feet. Everywhere I go leads me back to the street. I don't know why I left it behind.
That's an interesting chord there.
I left it behind.
I think it's I think it's still the. It's just a different version, but it's still pretty cool.
Behind, searching hard when there's nothing to find. I might.
So that's the lick there. That's the one I thought of years ago. It was like da 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 da, because I was like a little kid and I could sing that high. Well, I still can't, obviously, but I couldn't sing this low. Da 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 da. So that, the chorus is supposed to be kind of the same every time, but I did mix up the lyrics. So the first time it's I might, then it's I think, and then it's now. That's probably my favorite one. I'm sure I'm losing my mind. So it's getting over the song, the course of the song, getting slowly more and more sure that you're losing your mind. I think that's the effect I want. It's like, yeah, I think I'm losing my mind. I might be losing my mind. And then, like, yeah, I'm definitely losing my mind. It's just a fun little... I might... Yeah, I really like that chord. And that obviously was not something I thought of, years ago. Again, you get into that third inversion dominant 7 chord. Can you tell that I really like it? I'm sorry, my voice is really tired right now. So it's still the same chord, but we've added that dominant 7 on the bottom, which is such a cool sound. So I might be losing my mind. Again, just these subtle sounds. Yeah, you're not supposed to hear it super well, but there it is. All the time I've bought, and all the times I've fought. I'm saying fought there, fought as in like fighting, but it sounds a lot like I'm saying thought, and oops. All the times I've fought, I've just used. Yeah, it's all the time I've bought and all the times I've fought. So just clear that up. Hey, I've got. And here we have. Oh, never mind. Still ocarina. Burning sun. Yeah, I kind of like that riff that I did there. Burning sun. I could be done. Again, it's not like it's super clean or anything. It's not supposed to be, but yeah, I just played around with that. I don't think I did that on this one. Burning sun. Yeah, but I still did the. Burning sun, and I. Ugh, that's not good. So yeah, I was playing around with it. I didn't like all of it that I did. I just picked this one in particular. I like that because it goes along with this. It's just a fun little. I love those little moments of synchronicity between different parts that are usually not together and then they line up for a second. I think and that was just completely on accident. I could be done. Yeah, kind of fun. But my stubbornness is second to none. 'Cause I'm walking down an endless road with... There we go. Man, I'm really loving some mandolin lately. I've been discovering and playing around with so many new instruments. Mandolin is one of them. I have a very cheap mandolin. I think I've mentioned that before. Mandolin's also in Chalkboard. Some fun stuff in there. Go watch that if you haven't. But here we actually have a mandolin solo, but not yet. First of all, we just have this. I'm not super good at that, guys. I really need to do some more work on like my picking. I was about to say etiquette. That's not right. My picking like technique. Just fast stuff. I love some bluegrass. I'll play some bluegrass a lot. I'm not great, but it's something. It's always just fun to like fiddle around. Not on an actual fiddle. I wish. To mandolin around, if you will, guitar around, and But I need to work on that. But that's just me, yeah, just the string. This darkness is making me blind. I think I'm losing my mind. Oh, that's a fun moment. So that was not the chord progression before. But this is definitely something I had that I thought of. I love the flat 6, flat 7, 1. It's such a nice sound. It's like the Mario, that's what I think of the and then you have the duh duh duh. It's classic, man. It's really that feeling of like, yes, arrival, bum bum bum. It's a perfect. Yeah, I mean, I love that sound. And then the mandolin's just. Ooh, and it stays on the same note. It's a really cool thing. Actually, I think there's a little harmony in there, too. Yeah, and that brings us into the mandolin solo, guys. And this is about as crazy as I can do on mandolin. This was pulling out all the stops I've got. So yeah, a couple things I want to note about this. I forgot. Yeah, so most of the time it's pretty similar to the melody, right? But then you have these fun little da-da-da-da-da-da, those little licks in there that I just sort of thought of. There's one note in here that I think sticks out in a good way that you wouldn't expect. That one. So what you have, da 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 da, da. That's an A flat, G sharp, whatever it is. Da 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 da. But in the chords, you'd expect it to be da, that A natural, because that's you're playing an F, and you have a da, like in the guitar you have that A natural. So that's a major. That's the major chord. That's a F major chord. But here you have da 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 da. You'd expect it to be da 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 da, but it's da da da, and that clashes in a way that I think is pretty cool. Yeah. And it happens so fast that you don't get any of that like screeching like crunch that but even if it was sustained, it would lead to another interesting sound. But yeah, that's one thing I like. I don't know. I just heard that the mandolin should be doing that note instead of the A natural. I don't know, but I think it worked out all right. So yeah, I was trying to play a little bit different of a rhythm on the solo, so instead of a da 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 da, it was just da 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 da, just a little more straight, not really syncopated, just to mix it up a little bit. It's what solos are for, right? So that's pretty cool. And yeah, I think it fits in nice with this song, and it it rounds out the solos on my songs. I feel like we got the melodica, we got the mandolin, we got ocarina, we got flute, we got trumpet. All those instruments really get a chance to shine here, which I really like. So there you go. And I think I was initially planning a trumpet solo of some sort, but I was like, you know what? We could do something on mandolin instead. So.
'Cause now.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. After the solo's done, I kind of quiet down a little bit. I want it to be a little bit gentler, so the guitar quiets a little bit. Just a little bit, and the voice is a little more gentle. I tried to. Yeah, I like the now, because just having one word that you can sort of slide through. What's the word for that? Melismatic? I learned that in, let's see if we can, don't look at my, melisma, a group of notes sung to one syllable of text. Yes, that is what it is. So there's syllabic, or syllabic, text stress, or whatever you want to call it, and then there's melismatic, which is basically like, if you have one syllable, you do this a lot in like hymns, and you singing multiple notes to one syllable. So like amen, let's just take the word amen. Ah, that's alleluia. Hold on. Christ the Lord is risen today. Alleluia. So the ah syllable, you have a lot of notes on that one syllable. Ah. Whereas if you were doing alleluia or alleluia, whatever it is, like so like in the first one's I think. So that one is still is. But having now one word, just the one syllable really, that you're sliding through all these notes, I think is a cool sound. Anyways, enough of that's like I do nerd out a little bit on music theory stuff. But yeah. Now, just a little melisma for you. Just add that word to your vocabulary and impress the few people that care.
I know I'm losing my mind now, my mind.
It's a nice little uplifting moment. I did think of that also in one of my voice memos. It was like, think I'm losing my mind now, my mind, do. Like that's literally what I sang, and so I thought that would be a cool little thing to do at the end. So you have that nice little unexpected.
My mind now, my mind.
You have the nice 5-1.
I know I'm losing my mind now, my mind.
And then
My mind, my mind, my mind.
yeah. So what's happening here? First of all, I wouldn't have expected ocarina like harmony to sound so good, but it sure does. Yeah, did I even have to? No. So there's no flex on that. I did not have to tune any of that. So I think I might have had to play some. The thing about this ocarina in particular, I don't know if it's a thing for all ocarinas, but the harder you blow, sometimes it can affect the pitch. That's probably the case on most instruments, but the air, like figuring out how much air to use is a little bit tricky sometimes. So yeah, I'm sure I had to play this like a couple times before it really locked in. But yeah, I love that little sort of like just. Yeah, so that sort of, and then slowly fades out at the end of the song.
My mind, my mind, my mind.
See what we're doing here. Yeah, so we end on that again, flat 7, flat 6, flat 7, 1, that I love. But we have the 4. And then that minor 6. Da, da. That's a nice sound. The minor 6 to the flat 6, the major flat 6. Such a nice sound. And then the melody has the major 7 in this one chord. My mind, which I think is really cool.
My mind.
Man, when the melody's got that clash, it's really nice.
My mind, my mind, my mind.
Yeah, so that's it. That's the song. And this was the first track for a couple reasons. I think the album it plays around with some different moods, different styles. So why was this like the first one? First of all, I mean the name of the album is Mind Map, right? So having the first song be Mind kind of makes sense. It's not too long, but it's also not too short. Doesn't overstay its welcome. Again, 3.5 minutes is kind of what we're at here, I guess. Yeah. So it's a good length, and I feel like it's a good hook too. Like if you don't like this song, you probably won't be a huge fan of the later stuff. Maybe you would. I don't know, but I feel like this is a good representative sample. It's got some different instruments in it. It's a little unorthodox with its style. It's got some good harmony in there, some interesting chords. And it's not too happy, it's not too sad. It kind of lets you know, all right, you're in for a ride. This isn't going to just be all sunshine and roses, but also like we like to have some fun here. So I feel like this was a good hook song to where hopefully you'd want to listen to the rest of it. I hope. So yeah, that's what I did there. And again, mostly just the fact that it's called Mind and the album's Mind Map. But anyways, let's look at these lyrics. I did get them this time. Yep, here we go. And yeah, you can see I wrote here in my notes, kind of Mesopotamia melody. There you go. Breaking trust, kicking up dust as a steel sharp against rust. Excuse me. Yeah, so obviously I had this part, the chorus sort of planned out, except I modified it a little bit. It used to be, um, and I did sing this in the second chorus, walking down an endless road, another on my feet, looking for a place to stay and something to eat. I do like that line, but I also thought it was a little silly. You know, it's a little silly. It's on the nose, looking for a place to stay and something to eat. I don't know. It is a very visceral, like a real tangible like line. I don't know how to describe that, but I wanted to include it in the song somewhere again, because especially since I thought of it years ago, and I kind of wanted to nod to that. But I wanted the first chorus not to be as silly, so I thought of this line, everywhere I go leads me back to the street. To be honest with you, it's still a little silly. But I figured that was a better line for the first chorus, and then I changed it for the second chorus. I don't know why I left it behind. Also, another line that I changed. It used to be, this darkness is making me blind. Um, but I changed that to searching hard when there's nothing to find for the first chorus. I did do the darkness is making me blind for the second chorus because that's the line that I had back in the day. I don't know. It just seems a little silly to me. This darkness is making me blind. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but it just feels like darkness making. It's just a little silly sounding to me. But I feel like if you just go with it and not overthink it, then it works fine. It rhymes. It fits with the flow. But the first chorus, I wanted a more, to me, hard hitting, like less silly, searching hard when there's nothing to find. Yeah, I feel like that's a little less goofy. And then, yeah, I might be losing my mind. Um, yeah. So you might notice this pre-chorus. I did not include that in the final. No shoes, endless blues, nothing more I could conceivably lose, and I'm walking. I meant for that to be sort of a guide into the chorus, and I'm walking, like straight into the chorus. I couldn't quite get it to work. I couldn't like really think of anything cool to do with that, so I just omitted that. But it could be fun to put that in there. Oh well. Yeah. I don't have a ton to say specifically. I kind of just thought of these like this imagery of like kind of to fit in with this like swashbuckling sort of sound. So steel trap rusting, you say your mind's like a steel trap, and so I just thought of this like your steel trap is rusting. That's sort of a good way to say that you're losing your mind. I thought that was fun. Cobwebs form, you know what that means. Violent storm washes out my semblance of warmth. Yeah, I'm not feeling very warm and fuzzy anymore. Like these violent storms in my mind just washing everything out, losing my mind. All the time I've bought, all the times I've fought. Yeah, I've just used almost everything I've got. Yeah, it's this feeling of holding on desperately to what's left, and you can't, because you're just losing it. Burning sun, I know you guys can't see that, but I can't scroll down anymore, I'm sorry. Burning sun, I could be done, but my stubbornness is second to none. Yeah, so none of these lyrics are too deep or anything. They don't have as much of an emotional connotation as my other songs. But I feel like it doesn't have to. I think it serves the purpose well enough. And yeah, so yeah, it's a pretty simple thing there. And I feel like just emotionally or on a broader scale, it represents sort of just that feeling of just being lost in your own mind. You're losing your mind sometimes. No matter like the other songs are more specific. There's a song about letting go. There's songs about just the inner peace that you can find. Song about empathy. Song about feeling like you're wearing a mask. This one's more so just like amidst all of that chaos. Sometimes you just feel like, man, I'm just losing it. Like I'm just losing my mind. Maybe that's what it is. Or maybe just everything going on in your life can make you feel like you're just going bonkers. You're losing your marbles or whatever you want to say. That's the feeling of this song. Just that chaos. It doesn't really have a specific explanation. It's just chaos. So there you go. That's what that is. That's about all I got to say. Let's come back here real quick. Hello. Well, guys, that concludes this series. We've covered all 6 tracks. Rest assured that I'm always working on some new music. Subscribe if you haven't already to this YouTube channel. There's no shortage of content in the works. Got a very exciting big project, a movie that I've filmed with my siblings and cousins that's coming out soon. It's based on Mario, so you might enjoy that. And then I'm working on a huge Jacob Collier cover, finally doing Moon River. Stay tuned for that. Oh boy, it's going to be big. And I'm having lots of fun with that. Almost finished with the audio. The video is going to be a whole other thing. So, subscribe. Go to Instagram. Follow me. I'm doing some other stuff on there, and you'll always get news the fastest over there. And yeah, go listen to the Mind Map on all your favorite platforms. And all of that other good stuff. I'm just happy to be doing my thing, and whoever comes along for the ride is more than welcome. So thank you for that. Thank you for watching this far. Check out the other videos in this series, if you please. I have a Logic playlist that you can watch. Stay tuned for Moon River. Stay tuned for this movie and all that stuff. And I'll just leave you at that for now. And any future projects I do, any future albums or singles or anything like that, if you guys like this, I could easily go into the Logic sessions for those. I love sharing some Logic stuff. So, that's about all I got for you. I'll see you soon, inevitably. Peace out.